Okay, I'm live, but I don't see that you all have connected with me. Okay, it looks like you're picking me up again. All right. I don't see some of the names that, okay, very enough. I carry it. All right. Whoever it was that suggested I shut down and start over, thank you. That's what I did, and that's how it made it work. I hope everybody else finds their way back. Yeah, I see some of the 14-year-old and very huge fan. I seen some of the things that were there before. All right. This technology sometimes scares me. What I want to do, I want to break this down into two parts. Somebody asked me what I think about it when I lay my head down on the pillow and think about things other than YouTube and investing. Well, I don't think about much other than YouTube and investing. So what I want to do is take the first 15 minutes and talk about the questions that you have all sent into me. And then I want to spend the bulk of the time talking about where I want to take this YouTube channel and some of the things that have come to my mind that I think are important and what I want to do with it. It's my YouTube channel. What do I want to do with it? And the end goal is again, to help you make good investment decisions, help you keep more of what you make, and to build family wealth. And I'm focusing more and more on that latter part, how to build family wealth. So I want to go through quickly the questions that you've asked. And some of them, the first couple are Jojo Lowe and BK Will, questions about China. And I think some of this is stimulated by the video I put out yesterday, basically saying that NIO was on sale, down 15%, and to buy it. And I got feedback of, aren't you aware that Congress is passing a bill to say that China stocks have to meet our audit requirements or they will be delisted? Well, to me, that's a very, very, very positive thing. You can find some documentaries that show that there are fake companies all over China that aren't real, and they have factories with no employees, and yet they have a market value of $2-3 billion, and some of you own them. So hooray for the United States Congress. They're finally doing something, and they're doing something for our benefit. Is this unusual? No. Google the word Enron, a fake company of the early 2000s that a lot of people lost a lot of money on. So this China thing is a good thing. Be happy for it. And I looked at it and said, I believe Enron's a good company, or not Enron, excuse me, NIO, and I doubled my holdings, and it's treated me well as a result. Then there was Ruben says, I want to buy BYD, but it's an over-the-counter stock. Yeah, over-the-counter stocks, at least I trade with E-Trade, charges me a $4.99 fee as opposed to a free trade. I don't know anything about Robinhood and Wemo or Weibo or whatever it is. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself or go to a real broker. And that's just a little editorial on my part. Then I had some questions about investing your money in an IRA. An IRA is your money. I think what you might be confused with is if you have a 401k. If you have a 401k and that is usually provided by your business, yes, you have some limited options as to what you can invest in. It's what the 401k provider provides you, and usually those are some very generic type mutual funds. I never had a 401k. My son is a financial advisor and he manages them. And I know you have some limited options. And I would suggest you invest in technology. I look at my portfolio and that's all I have. And I will address why I have just technology. The stocks are going to crash. Looming housing crash. Let's be realistic about this. 60% of the world is not going to be involved in a housing crash. Those people who don't have jobs, those people who have been missing their payments, they are going to face some very difficult times, and they will probably be evicted from their apartments, or they may be foreclosed on their houses. The real sad part of that is, in some cases, it's going to be a two-party family, a working family, a husband and wife, or two people, and one of them lost a job. They were able to afford their house while they had two incomes. They have some equity, but now they don't have the ability. And those houses will be foreclosed on, or more hopefully, they will adjust their finances. They will get their equity out, and they'll have they'll sell the house on their own. This is going to create an opportunity for rentals. If you're in real estate, yeah, this will be, if you're comfortable real estate. I am. To give you an example, I'm building right now. I've got 3 homes under construction. Sold one yesterday, sold another lot the next day. And they're all being bought by baby boomers who are moving out of high tax districts into lower tax districts, moving into smaller homes, one-level homes, and I'll make money. I'm estimating I'll make over $250,000 in my little subdivision where I'm building homes for baby boomers. I do not feel I will. I could be actually positively affected if I have somebody who has a 7,000 square foot house and one of them lost a job, and they want to move in from a $800,000 home to a $400,000 home. I will sell them that home. Question from Stormborn. My feelings on Redfin, Zillow, and Open Door. I am very knowledgeable of Zillow. Zillow was the reason I got into YouTube. Zillow went from a very profitable company to a non-profitable company and is losing money hand over fist. Their stock was at 65. I bought it at 40. It went to 65. I sold it. It then in March, it went to 22. Foolish me did not buy it. And it's now at 107. And they're losing money hand over fist. I thought at 22, Amazon was going to buy it. I believe the real estate industry will go to it's going to become a e-commerce activity, except if you specialize in either high price homes. So I've backed away from Zillow. I've backed away from even considering those kind of stocks because I think there are other opportunities, and that's what I really want to talk about today. A question about BYDF, and this is BYD Corporation, the largest manufacturer of electronic vehicles in the world, but they have specialized more in buses, taxis, forklifts, all kinds of electric vehicles. I bought their stock. It is an over-the-counter stock, and as a consequence, as I said earlier, I had to pay a $4.99 fee. So what? Okay, move on. I believe they have a facility out in California. I think they're a very good play, and so I own them. I believe that there are about 4 major changes that are going to happen in the world, and electric vehicles is certainly one of them. We're not at the opening door of that one. We're further down the line. Palantir. I know what Palantir is. It's a spy software company. Been very effective. I'm not interested in it, quite honestly, because they aren't going to change the way I live. And I only want to buy stocks from this point on in companies who are going to change the way I live. Palantir, I don't care. Any advice in buying Google? Buy as much of Google as you can afford, and I'll tell you why very shortly. That was from UKB05, DC11. Again, a question about a traditional IRA, a traditional IRA, and Webull. I don't know a damn thing about Webull, and I don't care to know anything about Webull. I don't know if they're good, bad, different, ugly, beautiful, or whatever. You should have no problem. An IRA is an IRA. It's a qualified account. If they don't give you the ability to open an IRA and do free trading or on it, then you need to go somewhere else. I'm not going to invest it. That's not what I'm here for. PK11, asking the questions about BYD and seeing that there are 2 stocks. I believe one of them is from Chinese exchange. I own BYDDF. And again, as I said, it's an over-the-counter stock, so therefore I pay a $4.99 fee when I buy or trade in it. Frank K2K20 asked a question about should he buy X-Linux? I finally learned how to pronounce that word. In leaps. I don't know a damn thing about leaps. It's something that I guess I don't have the need to know, so I haven't learned it. Quarterly taxes. I'm not an accountant. Personally, I don't pay taxes. That's a whole nother story. So I haven't been paying quarterly taxes. I suspect I will be because I'm running out of losses that I can write off up against my income. I'll probably exhaust that this year. And so I will be paying quarterly taxes. My understanding, and when I used to do it, you just set it up on a bank draft and you send the IRS a certain amount of money each quarter. And that way you don't get penalized at the end of the year when you file your taxes. Is there a maximum amount allowed for write-offs on rental property? Yes, there is. And the amount is determined by how many profits you have elsewhere and what your earned income is. Again, you want that that rental property probably in the form of either an individual partnership or an LLC or a partnership or a sole proprietorship. It becomes at that point a separate tax entity, and if you have a full-time job, a day job, you can write those losses from that rental property off against your your earned income. Now, hopefully you aren't losing money on your rental property, but if you've got a mortgage on it, you certainly should be writing off the interest, and then you should be depreciating it. You can depreciate it over 27.5 years. So I hope those are the losses that you're talking about. But yes, you can write them off, and then you can carry them forward. That is to say, if you don't have enough earnings to offset your losses, you can carry them forward to the next tax year. Airbnb and DoorDash, I don't care. I'm sure they'll do quite well, but I feel there are bigger fish in the ocean, and I want to go after them. I don't care to get involved in that. I actually don't really like IPOs because they're an unknown. There's too much behind closed doors that I don't know anything about. What are your thoughts on the huge EV rally? Do you think it is starting to look like a bubble? No, hell no. I think it's 4% of the population owns electric vehicles. Is that a bubble? I don't think so. What I think the bubble is that there are going to be winners and losers. And when I see a 3-wheeled electric motorcycle with, I don't even remember the name of the company, that's been in business for 3 years and has taken 65,000 orders and has yet to produce a vehicle and has something like 76 employees. Come on, there's your bubble. There's your Robin Hood and Weeble saying, "Oh, I'm going to get in on this." That's a trap. Don't get involved in it. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on toll booths? I don't have any thoughts on toll booths. Irritates me when I got to throw coins in them. Would I invest in that? No, it's not going to change my life. I'm not going. There's too many good opportunities. I don't want any part of that. And that's Bama Girl 11. Roll Tide. Have you heard anything about Nick? Is he clean yet? I haven't. I don't know. And this is from Buy Sell 1124, and it's talking about international CBD company. I have an interest in medical marijuana. I did a video about it. I don't know enough about it. I cannot invest in any U.S. companies that are involved in it because they're too fragmented. How can you invest in a company that only can do business in California? And then the people who do the business can't deposit their money in a bank. This is too fragmented. There's too many holes to fall into that, and too many other opportunities that I don't want to get involved in that. And then I get asked, you're talking about medical devices. Why aren't you talking about AMWL? Because I don't have time. I don't know anywhere else you could go and you could ask somebody, would you look into this stock for me and give me your opinion? You ask at the last card, do you even know about AMWL? No, I don't. But if you do, share your information with us. Share your information on the Discord. Tell us why AWML should be brought to our attention. This isn't a one-way street. If you've got something that's worth hearing, let's talk about it. But don't ask me to go dig it up. I don't have the time. There's other things that I can do for you. TED, again, New Frontier Health, and it's a Chinese hospital company. I'm not going to dig into that. If you know something about it and you want to share it with the tribe, by all means, do your research and then make a video on it and sell us on it. I'll do the videos on the things that I think that are going to change the way I live. Rick, 56, wants to buy real estate property. Saw my video on the $2.1 million house I want to buy in Watercolors, Florida. And I mentioned 10% down. And he mentions that he's trying to buy property in Florida, and the bank wants 20% down. Yeah, banks are elitist. Banks are punitive. There's a whole nother world of lending out there called mortgage brokers. I use a mortgage broker when I wanted my $2 million home in Florida. I texted him and said, Lincoln, can you get me a mortgage on this at 10%? And he said, let me look into it. He said, yes, he could, because he's not dealing with banks. He's dealing with investors. And so an investor has different parameters. He could take 10%. You'll find investors that will take 5%. So my first statement, and someone else called me yesterday about property out in Jackson Hole, and I called Lincoln again, and Lincoln gave him a name of somebody that he could contact that is a mortgage broker. They're dealing with investors. They're not dealing with a hierarchy of banks. Their banks are regulated by the federal government. And because of the subprime crisis, they have some limitations on what they can do. So my first suggestion is find yourself a mortgage broker and shop around. The other thing you need to be conscious of, and that is origination fees. You might get a 5% down, but an outrageous origination fee. So be aware of that and shop around the same way you would shop around for a good stock. I almost write $10,000. I love this. I'm looking forward to stocks that will give me a quick and fast money rather than long-term stocks. Okay, you're a gambler. All right, you need to go to another channel. I'm not a gambler. I'm not going to give you any. Well, listen to the end of this video. And if that's what you want, my advice to you is become smarter than anybody else at the table. You got to be the smartest guy there. If you expect to get a quick, fast money rather than long-term returns, you got to be the smartest guy at the table. And you won't be the smartest guy at the table unless you educate yourself. And if you haven't read every book that I suggest you read in the description of my videos, you aren't willing to put forth the work. So get out of my face. Go to Las Vegas and gamble. Without real. Noodle. Do I know a software where you can learn to invest without real money? I remember a number of years ago I think that there are some brokers, E-Trade may be one of them, that offer that sort of thing. I would say to you, just Google it. Rather than, that's my answer to everything. If you got a question, just Google it, and you'll find it. Stocks that you will do well, EV, like ALB and FCX. Oh, these are lithium and copper. Yeah, maybe, but there are two. That's a bet. I don't know enough about what goes into a battery, and whether it's lithium and copper, and what the effects are. That's a whole nother world, okay, of investing. I don't choose to go that path, so I don't really know the answer to that. Talking about stocks you own, are unaware that you're 40 to 50% in cash. No, I'm at 10% in cash right now in my YouTube portfolio. I have been buying, and in just a matter of minutes, I'll be sharing that with you. Is Boeing good for post-COVID? They're so far in debt. I just think there's better options. And it says I bought some at 156. Why? They've got a big part of their planes that they can't fly. Everybody's canceling their orders. If this was a store in your town and you knew that that part of their store was shut down and they were losing money hand over fist day after day, would you dig into your pocket and invest in it? I don't think you would. I know I wouldn't. My personal feeling on that is Boeing has to be taken over by someone else. Somebody's got to bankrupt that company and then take it over. And whether it's the federal government or it's Lockheed Martin or it's what's the one from France, that's a dead company walking. That's a zombie company. No, there's no way I would invest in that. LLC, a good way to bring investing in real estate with other people. Forming an LLC, and I saw this, may have been the same person who wrote in a comment. The fastest way to lose friends is to go into business with them. It's hard enough to maintain a relationship called a marriage than it is to maintain a relationship called an LLC. Can you talk about Pfizer? Yeah, I think I've seen a couple of things about Pfizer. Pfizer's English company that I guess that's making a drug. I don't think Pfizer's going to make a whole lot of money off of that vaccine. It hasn't been stated. I don't know that it's been addressed. But when the vaccine becomes available, just for information purposes, I will take the vaccine. Nita's not sure she will, but I will. I don't expect to pay anything for it. Why don't I expect to pay anything for it? Because I don't see how the government can put out a vaccine and say this is good for everybody. And Carrie, you're going to have to get 2 shots, and each shot's going to cost you $50. There's a large portion of the population that doesn't have $100. So what are we going to do with them? I think so I go and I negotiate. So I'm the government, and I'm going to say this vaccine is going to be free, and we're going to pay you, Pfizer and Moderna, for your vaccine, but we want a goodwill gesture, and we'll pay you for all the work you've done, but we want a goodwill gesture. We don't expect you to make a whole lot of money on this, because this is to save us. I wasn't alive during World War II, but I suspect that profits were put on the back burner. So Pfizer, I don't think so. At least it's not for me. It's not where I want to go. This is by Yossi 11. Curious about your thoughts on what's coming and questioning my optimism, and a storm coming, total reset of the market, and my attitudes towards, and he says, Harry Dent's been suggesting there's been a crash since 2016. That he believes it's because of the baby boomers. I'm sorry, Harry, but the baby boomers are secondary at this point. And he speaks to Chicken Little. And I purposefully said I want that to be the last question I answer before I get into what I want to talk about, and that is, where do I want to take this channel? I believe that we are in a point of tremendous change. And I think I look back to the early 2000s when or the 1990s when the internet became something new. And out of that was born IBM and Microsoft and Apple. And if I had had the foresight and the knowledge and the experience then that I have today, I would have looked through my window and said, my God, that's going to change the world I live in. And who are going to be the companies that are going to benefit from that? And I hope I would have said IBM, Microsoft, Apple, and I would have invested in them. If I had done that, I would have achieved my goal of $24 million. It's a given. If I would have bought Apple for, I don't know, $3 a share, if I would have bought Microsoft at $5 a share, I would have my 24 million. And it's done. So, okay, I missed that one. But then in 2010, they came out with this 4G, don't mess up my hair. And this thing showed up. Okay. And if I'd really been paying attention, I would have recognized that this thing was going to take this company called Amazon and take it even further. And that this company called Facebook was going to explode. How did I miss that? I wasn't paying attention, to be very honest. I was a financial advisor, but I was in the business of gathering money, other people's money, giving it to the guys up in Minneapolis who ran American Express Financial Advisors and letting them invest it. And at the same time, telling people to diversify and own something of everything and not concentrate on Facebook, on Amazon, on Google. If I had, once again, I would have achieved my goal of 24 million. So, okay, Carrie, learn from your mistakes. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll learn from my mistakes. So here I am sitting and seeing our country and the world go through what I have called World War III. I think more people have been affected overall, more economy affected from anything since World War II by this coronavirus. And I believe then that as a result of that, in March, there will be a meeting in Davos, Switzerland, and the leaders of our largest corporations, our banks, our world leaders will sit down around a huge table, and the opening statement will be, this can never happen again. And we have to make certain that it never happens again. And it won't. And everybody will say, number one priority is healthcare. Well, then the question will be, where are we with healthcare? And you will see a video tomorrow that I will do, and it will be titled, Google Cannot Cure Cancer, but these three companies can. And I will give you the names of three companies that I believe within 3 to 5 years will cure cancer. I've already talked about some of them. Illumina, who does the genome sequencing. CRISPR, who does the isolation of genomes so that their protein can go in and isolate those that genome and correct the mistake. Then there are other companies, which I'll share in my video tomorrow, that develop the proteins that are specific to cancer, to heart disease, to Parkinson's, to Alzheimer's. And they basically take the potential of those diseases out of your body. Okay? So the video you're going to see Saturday, which I will make later this afternoon, the title of it is, I Was Wrong. Google Will Cure Cancer. The last couple of months, as you know, I started, let me do that. Those of you who have an emoji here joined my channel to support my charitable directive, and that is Warriors Team Shea in honor of my daughter. And $3.99 is going, and I think about 250 of you have done it, and thank you so much. And that money each month will go to support finding a cure for cancer. So I spend some of my own money, not the money I'm raising here, to buy research. Over the last month, I would say I've spent about $3,000 to buy research on the advancements in healthcare and the advancements in finding a cure for cancer. And what I have found is and what I believe, it's going to be cured within the next 3 to 5 years. So it really opened my eyes as to what Kathy Woods is doing. And she has a staff, from what I can determine, of about 5 analysts, researchers, who take a specific area and they do research on it to guide her and her staff on which stocks to buy for what's going to happen in the future. And I believe that within the next 3 weeks, you're going to get an announcement that is going to give you a very new picture on where this is going. So what I have decided to do is take $200,000 of my portfolio and invest it in what I believe is going to be the companies that are going to change our world. CRISPR being one of them, Illumina being another one, Google, because Google had bought a company in 2013, I believe it was, by the name of DeepMind. And DeepMind, again, this is way over my pay grade. DeepMind has developed a artificial intelligence software that that unwraps the, I hope I say this right, the folding. It's called AlphaFold 2, and it's all about protein and amino acids. Way over my, I last night I spent 3 hours reading this research, but I'm convinced that between Google, Illumina, Intella, Pacific, Bio, and CRISPR, I'm going to put, right now I've got $184,400 in those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks. And I believe that within 3 to 5 years, they're going to give me a 100%, 100x return on my investment. So as a result of that, I would have $18.4 million. I will up this to somewhere around $240,000 that I will put into this, because I believe that in itself will give me my goal in 3 to 5 years of $24 million that I can pass on to my heirs. So that's where I want to take my channel. I don't want to be the guy. I did it yesterday. I just threw a video up there, and you might have seen it. It said Neo's on sale. That video got more views than anything I had done in the previous weeks, where I'm sharing information about Illumina, Nitella, and CRISPR. It pissed me off. It really did, because I thought this whole thing is that shallow. It's about the guy who said, I don't want to make a long-term investment. I want to make quick money. Go to Las Vegas. Get out of my face. That's not what I want to do. And that's not what I want to do for you. So with that in mind, I've talked to Drew about this, is I want to duplicate what Kathy Woods is doing, but I don't want to charge you. You're buying her ETF. You're paying a management fee. Depending upon the amount of money you have in there, you're paying probably anywhere from 0.5% to 1.5% as a management fee. I haven't looked into it, but that's what you're paying for. So where I want to go, and what I've told Drew I want to do, is before January the 1st, I want to turn our Discord into a pay for play, if you will. And I want to start out, we've got about 6,500 participants as a fee of $10 a month. If I can't make you $10 a month, then you should not pay that $10 a month. If you don't believe I can improve your life by $10 a month, please do not pay it. So let's say that you did do that, all 6,500 of you. That would generate what? $65,000 a month. Do you know how much research I could buy for $65,000? I could pay Drew. Drew doesn't get paid anything. I could find the young lady 6 months ago who told me to buy CRISPR. I bought it. It didn't move fast enough for me, so I sold it. I bought it again a week ago. I'm already up 27%. I think I'm up something like, I saw somebody else was looking at it. I think it's up something like 8% today. There are other people who know what I just told you, that there is going to be a cure for cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. We have two lady friends who both have Parkinson's. What if they could get their genome tracked and they could go to this CRISPR and and I don't know if this is possible or it's not, and they could put their genome back in place, and their their Parkinson's would go away. What if that could happen? I don't know if it can or it can't. Or do you have to take it out of the system when the child is born or before the child is 10 years old? I don't know. But what I know, and I'm willing to bet $200,000 on to get my 24 million, I know it's going to happen. Okay? So, with that being said, I need to get people who have more knowledge, more experience in these fields on our team. And for $10 a month, I think I can make you a lot more than $10 a month. And that's what I want. And I want then the people who I'm paying to be some of you. Okay. And take your knowledge, because again, what I want to duplicate is ARC, but not with all the regulation. And I want to do it for us, the people who are part of my tribe, the people who have supported me up until this point. So then where do we go from there? I was talking to Scott, and I know Scott's here, and Scott and I were talking about he says he lives, I think he said, in Kansas City. And he says Google came in and laid this high wire and gave them super internet service, and then they left. And we were talking about, why did they leave? And I said, because Elon and Jeff are putting satellites in the sky and getting our internet through a cable buried in the ground. And I lost my internet last month because we had a lightning strike and high winds that put a surge of power through my internet line, and I was without internet for 7 days. That can't happen. That can't go on. But if Jeff has a license to put 3,600 satellites in the sky, and Elon has the same license to put 3,600. I think Elon's got most of his up there. Now, the way they got that license was they said, we're going to bring internet service to people who don't have access to it now, such as in Africa and South America and North Dakota, Montana, and South Dakota. Now, from what I've read, they don't have anything but maybe 3G comparable service, but I'm willing to bet that's going to change. And so why am I bringing this up? Because we need to do research. We need to have access to research. We need to, and for $10 a month, I can get it for you. 5G. Do you some remember back quite a long time ago? No, it wasn't. It was just a couple of months ago. Roman, he was on a really screwed up video with me because he was coming from Sydney, University of Sydney, and there was a delay and all that sort of thing. But he told us about Xlinia. And he told us that they were developing a chip that had artificial intelligence in it, as well as machine learning. And this is what was going to be really the big change in 5G. And I remember asking him, well, are they a target to be bought out? And he said, no, they're strong enough on their own. And then 13 days later, they were bought out by Advanced Micro Devices for $30 billion, or actually, I think they merged. That's the kind of research we need. That's the kind of people we need on our team that $10 a month from 6,500 of you will make it possible. We also need a website. That Discord is very difficult to maneuver through and to make functional. We need these experts, these gurus writing blogs that you can go to and you can read and you can assess and you can comment on. And then we need a staff who summarizes them and that basically says, this is where I want to go and this is what I want to do. And it isn't all about Carrie, because Carrie can't do it all. And then there would be places there so that if you do know something that we need to all share in, where you can lay it down and we can learn from it. And it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, and you're a part of it. That's what really excites me about this, where you are having an active say in the future of your investments. Again, as a financial advisor, I used to say we had over 2,000 clients. And it's like I said about a doctor, you never look at their portfolio until the day they walk through the door. That's not what I think you people want. I think you want active participation. It's like Sherry said to me the other day, and Sherry, you bring tears to my eyes. Sherry says, I own Amazon and Google and Facebook, and I know why I own them. If you own a mutual fund, if you own a ETF, you don't know why you own it. You are just turning your money over to somebody who you have trust in, and good for you if you have trust in them. And you're letting them make the decisions entirely on their own. I want you to be a part of it. And I do not want somebody coming in and saying, oh, I want to make some fast money. Let's talk about penny stocks. Bullshit. We're not going to do that. It's like Scott said to me today. Yeah, I have a friend who tells me about all the money he's making in penny stocks, but he never wants to talk about the money he's losing. Yeah, that's what that's all about. That's kind of like day trading. Then I guess the other thing that I want in this whole mix of things is for those of you who say, yeah, Carrie, that's wonderful for you that you've got $240,000 that you can put into this, but I only got $2,400. And would I be better in options? I don't know. I don't study options because I don't need to. But if in our Discord website, Best of Us Investors community, we had somebody who could, and then some of you talking about leaps, I don't know what a leap is, could share that information and be compensated for it and run that little entity within the framework of Best of Us Investors, okay, then you would know where to go. The other thing I want to do in there is I think there's a tremendous opportunity within real estate, and most of you are not going to get into it because it's a complicated thing and you're afraid of it. So within this website Discord program, I want to create a school. I want to create a school where if you want to flip houses, I'll tell you what I know, and then other people will tell you what they know, and you can learn, and you can know where to go to learn. And I want to really get a community of people who want to learn and who are willing to put forth the work necessary. If I have to pay $10 a month for that worthless Discord, well, Ron F., I would agree with you I guess at this point. But I want to take it beyond a worthless Discord. And if that's your attitude, if I can't make you $10 a month, please go somewhere else. Ron, take your $10 and go down and buy 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. You won't hurt my feeling. So that's what I want to do with this community, with Best of Us investors. Ryan, the 14-year-old investor. So I'm 14 and I have a portfolio currently of just Tesla. So I'm thinking I might get into CRISPR and DKNG. I think that's another Chinese stock. Do you guys have suggestions of my portfolio and any stocks I should look at? I thought that's what I was just talking about. I don't know. Maybe it's not. A website, not Discord. I think the Discord will remain because some of you like communicating that way. But I think a website that you can gain access to and gain information from is where I want it to take it. And as I see there, I tried many times to get into the Discord and never had success. I don't know the answer to that question. DraftKings. DraftKings isn't going to change the way I live. I'm sorry. If that's the game you want to play, I guess I was talking to Nita about this. I said, Apple is it moves up and down around a $2 trillion company. That's not an Apple phone. It's a Samsung phone, but that's worth $2 trillion to the world. Okay. What's your life worth? What's your life? What if I had a company or a collection of companies that said, we can extend your life expectancy by 50%. And so let's say life expectancy is now 80 and said, we can take you by eliminating cancer, heart disease. I think I told you 800,000. So what it is, 800,000 people die of heart disease in the United States a year. 600,000 die of cancer. That works out to be of cancer. I know that number extremely well. 1,660 a day. We just surpassed that with the coronavirus. What would you pay? Would you pay? I think you pay something for a new Apple phone. Would you pay $2,000 to extend your life expectancy for 50%, but to 140? I think I would. I think I'm pretty sure I would. And what I feel pretty solid about is if I got to 140, I equate it to my car. I think I have said that when I bought my first car, it had a life expectancy between 30,000 and 50,000 miles. My BMW now, I'm right at 46,000, I think. I'm confident it'll take me to 150. Could probably take me to 200. Why? It's got sensors on it now. It tells me when something's wrong before it goes bad. Well, we're going to take all the things out of your body that's going to kill you. So you'll get to 140. Then it's a matter of spare parts, replacement parts. By the time you're 140, they're going to 3D print. They already are 3D printing a liver. They're already working on 3D printing a heart. I know they're 3D printing ears. By the time you get to 140, they'll have replacement parts for you. What's that worth? Well, that's where we are today. That's what's about to happen. And I want to be your guide into that world. And I want to build the team. I want to build the team that is going to take you and give you the ticket to hit your goal of $24 million of money that you don't need to live on, that you can pass on to your heirs. And that's where I want to take this channel. For those of you who want to go with me, okay. For those of you who don't, CSP, I agree. Discord is very tough and very confusing. And that's why I need to build a website. The last website I built of any consequence is about a $5,000 venture. And it can be done damn quick. And it can be done extremely well. And then I want to bring the people on amongst you who make this something to be envied. What I think you will do once it happens is you'll say, Carrie, let's raise the price and close the door so that we have an exclusive club of people who work together to make money. So I have made and research on nano dimension. I don't know what that is. And George, I guess that's I have made and researched on nano dimension. There's an example, and I don't know if that's a stock or that's a therapy or what it is. There are those of you who know things I don't know. There are those of you who could open my eyes to a lot of things. But as long as we don't have a collective place, it won't happen. So if you want to be a part of it, that's where I'm going. That's part of what I want to do. How is your health? Jerry, maybe you missed. I had 4 months ago, I was told my PSA was 9.75. Just, I guess it was Monday or Tuesday, I got a letter and it said it's down to 2.75. So my health is good. I intend to participate in the Senior Olympics again in 2021. I am the fastest 75 to 80-year-old in the state of Alabama. In the 50, the 100, the 200, and 400 meter. I'm the 13th fastest in the 200 meter in the world. Granted, some of you didn't show up for the competition, but so if you don't show, you don't count. So I have the heart of probably someone about 40 years old, and I take care of my health. I'm very conscious of it. My only bad habit is I like bourbon. Senior Olympics, yes. The Senior Olympics is for people 55 years age and older. They divide us up into 5-year age categories, and we compete with each other. We have about 10,000 athletes show up every other year and compete in everything from badminton to what's that called where you pickleball, shuffleboard, anything that you might find at a senior citizen. And then there are some of us who run like hell. And then I've also participated in the what is it, a 20K and a 40K road bike race. I've gotten off my road bike because I came home one day and told Nita, I know how I'm going to die. And I'm going to be hit by a silver-haired lady in a Buick peering over the steering wheel as she puts me into a ditch, or I'm going to be hit by a teenager in a Ford F-150 black truck with big super wheels on it as he hits me and throws me into the ditch. And I know my last words. Oh, shit. And so I got off my bike. I only wrote it down at the beach because it's a neighborhood type thing. And particularly when nobody's there, it's nice, clean writing. And then I also have a mountain bike, and I found some trails that I can ride on. So my health is good. I think I hope to be, yes, oh shit. That will probably, and I want to share this with you, that will probably keep this video from being monetizable because I use bad language. So that's what it's all about. I've gone 6 minutes over, although I started late. I was 6 minutes over on this video. I enjoy doing these because I feel I become closer to you. This means more to me than it does to you. This is my life. This is my way to make a difference. And I hope you adopt that attitude. We're all on this earth for a very short period of time. And one of your objectives should be to make a difference. If you just check in and check out and everybody says, who was that? Then there was no reason for you to be here. Okay? So strive to make a difference, even if it's only within your family, even if it's only to give guidance to your children and to your grandchildren and show them a better way. I hope one of the things that I've achieved is showing you don't have to be a second-class citizen. You don't have to not be a 1%er. That is a choice you make. You make the decision whether or not you're going to be wealthy and whether or not you're going to live comfortably or whether you're going to struggle. You make that decision. The first part of that decision is called education. You make a decision whether or not you are going to educate yourself and you are going to become the smartest guy at the table. And you are going to then focus on that smartest guy at the table and share it. And when you share it, it comes back to you, in spades. To think that there is a possibility that 12 months ago, I started this YouTube channel, and now I am talking about building a company that could generate $65,000 a month from donations of $10 a month from people who I could help become millionaires. To think that was possible is unimaginable. But the potential of it, of making a difference in these 6,500 people's lives is unimaginable. It could not have happened without the internet. It could not have happened without YouTube. It could not have happened if I had not educated myself and I had not learned about investing and I had not learned about YouTube and I have not read all the books that I read and been willing to share it. And I'm telling you, you can do it too. You make the decision of who you're going to be and how you're going to live. And if you choose that I'm just going to show up and take advantage of everything that I can and go on YouTube and take all the free information that I can from a bunch of millennials who have never experienced a downturn in the market and got lucky, and they were smarter than me at the time and bought Tesla, and that's really the only stock they own. But if you will educate yourself and then share that education, you can be anything you want to be. Anything. You put the limits on yourself. Read a book by Seth Godin. Read this book, Seth Godin. This is marketing. In this, I was walking down Jamison Path with my earphones on. Every book I read, I listen to first on Audible. And he said in this book, all you got to have to be wealthy is 1,000 people who believe in you. What? All you've got to have to be wealthy is 1,000 people that live in you. I remember exactly where I was on the path when I heard those words. And he gave as an example the Grateful Dead. He said they were never a success of the record company, but they had a group of people that just believed in them and believed in their music. And that, once you got that, and that's what I've got now 65,000 subscribers. 6,500 of them go to the Discord. Once you've got that and you can present them value above and beyond what you're going to charge them for it, and you can consistently do it, your life is, you're in control. You're in control. Yeah, the Deadheads. I was never really a big fan of the Grateful Dead, but think about Taylor Swift. I think I read something. She has on Instagram something like 4 million followers. Why? Look what Taylor Swift gives back. Look what she gives to those. Have you ever watched one of her concerts? Go find her concerts and see what she gives back. I understand. I understand why that's who you need to model yourself over or after. Find someone and say, why are they so successful? And what can I do to emulate them? That's where I want to go with this. I want to make you, somebody asked me, why do you do this, Kerry? You're 76 years old. Why do you do this? I do this to fill the pews at my funeral. I'm born Catholic. We have pews. We have big church, you know. And so I'm doing it for you, but more importantly, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it because I love it. I love what I do, and I think I'm making a difference. So, okay, the sermon is over. In the Catholic Church, we say, "Go, the Mass has ended." We're a bunch of sheep. We have to be told when to leave. 140 million followers. Think about that. Why couldn't that be you? What has she got? She's probably got a better voice than me. You'll notice my voice gets a little scratchy after this. But you've got something that you could share. And I want to inspire you to do it. I want you to show you that it can be done. Okay, I'm going to check out now. I got a video to make. It's going to be the title. Jack, if you're watching, the title is going to be, "I Made a Mistake. Google will cure cancer." That's going to be our new video. So you can start Jack. Jack is a young man who, I think he's 25, 27. He lives in the Netherlands. And Jack is the guy who makes those magnificent thumbnails for me. And I suspect Jack may be a player when it comes to building our website. And then you all also need to know who Drew is. Drew is the one who built the Discord, and will probably be very instrumental in building the website. And Drew is from Korea, and he has just reached out and said, "I want to help you do this, and we need to get him paid for the work he does so that he can quit his day job." And that's going to be part of my objective with the Discord and the then subsequent website. The other thing, again, my charitable foundation, it's interesting. Right after I started that, I discovered that there is going to be a cure for cancer. Maybe that's all I had to do, was make a commitment. Maybe that's, anyway. Thank you. Thank you for what you give me. And for those that I help, I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for your support. And let's build this into something that is extremely unique and extremely beneficial. And if you believe that that I can make a $10 a month difference in your life, okay, we'll go for it and see what happens. Thanks.